and welcome to Preemie Chats, a place where we connect, learn, and share stories about the world of prematurity. I'm Fabiana Baquina. I'm a proud Preemie parent and executive director of the Canadian Premature Babies Foundation, or CPBF, and I'm so honored to have you join us here today. Preemie Chats is brought to you by CPBF, a parent-led charitable organization dedicated to supporting families, advocating for the needs of premature babies, and providing the latest information and resources to help parents and caregivers navigate this journey. Whether you are a parent, a healthcare provider, researcher, or someone interested in understanding more about preterm birth, you are in the right place. Together, we are building a supportive community where we share, where stories are shared, questions are answered, and new evidence is explored, and no one feels alone. Be sure to visit our website, canadianpreemies.org, where you'll find helpful resources, our latest projects, and most importantly, a community of people who wants to see our little babies thrive. If you're watching live today, please join the conversation. Share your questions and comments in the chat, and we'll address them during our program. If you're watching a recorded session, you can still connect with us through our website. It is through meaningful conversations like this that we can advance practice and learn together. So let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And today we have a very special episode of the Preemie Chats. We are going global. We are bringing together voices from across continents to talk about something urgent and universally important: the need for global awareness and advocacy in maternal and newborn health, with a special focus on preterm birth and sick newborns. Every year, an estimated 13 million babies are born too soon. That is more than 1 in 10 babies worldwide. Many of them are born in countries where access to neonatal care, equipment, and trained staff is limited or inconsistent. Many don't survive. 1 million babies die each year. Others face lifelong healthcare challenges without the early intervention they desperately need. And behind every one of those babies is a family, often scared, isolated, and without the information or support they deserve. Despite incredible medical advances, inequity remains a harsh reality. In some countries, a baby born at 28 weeks has a high chance of survival and access to follow-up care and therapies. In others, that same baby might not receive basic interventions that could save their life. This gap is not just a statistic, it's a matter of justice, of human rights, and dignity for families everywhere. And that's why we are here today, to raise awareness on those disparities, to amplify the voices of parents, leaders who are fighting for change in their countries, and to introduce you to a global movement, GFCNI, the Global Foundation for the Care of Newborn Infants, formerly known as EFCNI, the European Foundation for the Care of Newborn Infants. This expanded initiative reflects a bold mission to create a world where every baby, everywhere, has the chance to survive and thrive, and where parents are partners in care, not bystanders. And I have here joining us live from Germany, let me bring her here, Silke Mader, who many of you know as the chairwoman of and the executive board and co-founder of EFCNI, today GFCNI. Silke, welcome. Thank you so much for being here today and to bring all of us together.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me and also for the nice introduction.
That is wonderful to have you here. So we'll shortly introduce many other guests from many parts of the world. But first, I want to start with you talking about your organization that just became global a month ago. What was this your vision from the beginning?
That's a good question, Fabiana. Yes, in the very beginning, when we started our organization, some of you maybe know we were 3 people, a neonatologist and an affected father and myself, who had an idea of changing the world for our babies born preterm. But we were only 3 younger people having a lot of ideas. But well, maybe we thought it's a little bit too tough to already call ourselves a global organization, being 3 German people. And throughout the last years, we really moved to a global organization, even when our name was still European Foundation. Our first big vision was bringing parents together. So we had, in the same year of our foundation was founded, our first parent organization meeting, where at this time 14 organizations across Europe came together, and already at this moment we founded World Prematurity Day. So at this time, even when we were only 14 parent organizations across Europe, we had a big vision. We had, of course, not the knowledge what we have today to understand better what prematurity means. And as you said before, we have every year close to 14 million babies born preterm, and most of these babies are born in low middle income countries, not in our richer regions. And as you said before, the really tiny babies can survive, like my son with 515 grams can survive, and also survive mainly healthy, and starts soon his PhD. But in other countries, even a baby with 2,500 kilo is not able to survive because of having not access to the right care at the right time and the right place. There is, for example, not oxygen available. There is not clean water available. And even babies who are born term are not surviving in this region. And throughout these last years, we started having every year our parent organization meeting, was it called at this time, not summit like today. And then more and more parent organizations from across the world have heard about us, because I was joining World Health Organization meetings or international healthcare professional congresses, where they looked at us and said, oh, why you have an organization in our regions, our babies also born preterm, but we have not the parent voice. And so more and more healthcare professionals, but also parents, found us and asked why there is not an organization in my country. Like many years ago, when I was the first time in Canada, in Edmonton, where we started to discuss what can be done to establish an organization in Canada. And then I flew to other countries, and also parent organizations were popping up even without knowing that EFCNI is existing. And they contacted us. We want to join you. And you can imagine, in the very beginning, we said, oh, we are a European organization. Is this possible that others can join us? And then we discussed with our lawyers, we discussed with our team, is this possible to really become a global organization? And the last 3 years, it was really challenging also to think about, are we able to be a global organization? Because we are the ones who founded the organization, or who are sitting in our team, in our office, are all European people. Can we really be a voice for all parents and babies across the world? And then it comes to you, Fabiana, and many of the fantastic colleagues who are with us today, who have the voices in their country. And we are helping each other, and we are helping also parent organizations who are now joining us from Africa, or from South America, or from hopefully soon also from Southeast Asia, because we need a voice all over the world. And that's something where we then thought, okay, now we are 17 years old, close to an adult. We can start with being a parent organization and a patient organization on a global level, and working together, because we, of course, are an umbrella organization, but we need all of you, all of the national, the regional organizations, the parents who are helping, the parents who are now in the NICU and need their help. So we cannot fulfill this role, but we can give guidance, we can give support, and we can be a voice for the ones who have no voice. And this is something where we felt and finally responsible to really become an organization called Global Organization. And of course, it took us some administration time to really change a name, to change the vision, and also legal aspects to really be a global organization, that we are also allowed to to act also outside of the European Union. That took us around 1.5 years, but now we are really starting with our campaigns, with our activities, and later we hear today also about Neopedia, World Prematurity Day, something what we are all celebrating together. And so we hope that with our projects we are starting this year and the next years, we can really make a difference for all parents across the world. And it will take, of course, time, but when you not start, you will never come to this aim where you can really make a difference.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And because of this shared vision, equity care, we are all here today. And I thank to you, and I get quite emotional to see who is in this room, this virtual room today, because are really leaders across the world making a difference because of your big vision. And even here in Canada, we have this incredible big country with continental dimensions. That is the map behind me. We have our own unique challenges, and we have also not have equity in our own country in Canada. That's why we work so hard, and I'm so grateful to be under your umbrella to bring these voices together. So now I will start introducing our guests from around the world, each one a leader, a parent, and a change maker. So let's begin. Let's go to south of where I am. Let's go down to Brazil. Silke, I'm going to take you off screen, but I bring you back in a minute. So I have here Denise Subitani. She's the executive director of the Brazilian Parents of Preemie Association. Denise, welcome. I'm so grateful to you for being here, my fellow Brazilian.
Thank you, Fabi. It's an honor to be here with all these great friends and great activists of the cause of prematurity. So to begin with, I would like to bring some information about Brazil that may be unknown. We are a middle-income country, the largest in Latin America, and the 5th largest country in the world by area. We are among the 10 countries with the most premature births, and we have 12% of babies being born before 37 weeks, which is equivalent to 300,000 premature births every year here in Brazil. I would say that, let me change here the image. I would say that we have very common challenges in the world, but for us, I think they are quite related to the difficulties that our continental size brings us, as well as in Canada. We have many original populations, such as indigenous people, riverside populations in remote areas, Amazon and other areas, and in addition to many regional disparities, social inequality, and extreme poverty still. And all of this leads to a lack of information and also decision-making support for women, for example, information about their health, about pregnancy, about the possibility of preterm birth, and about their rights, and which consequently leads to less access to prenatal care and a high number of elective C-sections, where Brazil is the second in the world in cesarean sections without medical indication, and that brings us more preemies. And what we are doing here as an organized civil society, we have been fighting for public policies that guarantee a drastic reduction in avoidable premature births, and also initiatives that seek equity in access to health, as well as social justice for preterm babies and their families. And of course, in addition, we offer support for families, free psychological and legal support for them, for example. We carry out donations and awareness campaigns throughout the year. So but we have done a lot in 10 years, but we still have a lot to do because, as you see, we have great challenges still. So
Thank you, Denise. We are going to have a discussion, but I'm going to bring now Basilio. Denise, I'm going to put also you on backstage and I bring you back. So I have here joining us from Brazil. We're going to go to Uganda. And we have Katerega Basilio. He's the co-founder and managing director of the Preterm Infants Parents Network in Uganda. Basilio, I'm especially grateful to you to have a father in this panel because your voice is so important. And your leadership has been very inspiring to myself and many other leaders in our network. And we understand the needs of your country are huge. And you have made incredible progress in just a few years since you founded your organization. But we would like to understand and know a little bit what is the situation in Uganda and how you've been support parents.
Thank you very much for that introduction. It just warms up my heart. My name is Basilio Katerega, and I'm the founder of the Preterm Parents Network Uganda, a network that brings all parents that have given birth to preterm babies within the country. Currently in Uganda, it's at 20%. In every 1,000 babies, 20% are born premature, are born preterm, and so the situation right now is the numbers are keep growing every single day, and it's really worrying. And as a network, our aim is to ensure that no single parent goes through this prematurity journey alone. And I think we've really tried our level best, and we were recognized as one of the best guys that are doing this to work very well by GNF, by the Global Foundation for the Care of Newborn Babies. What basically we are trying to do, we support parents. We have support groups. We also do nutrition trainings and post neonatal discharge trainings. So our care starts right from antenatal. So once a mother comes to antenatal, we are fighting to ensure that we educate mothers on what causes prematurity in order to reduce the numbers, because the hospitals are really overwhelmed with the number of babies that are being born premature. So we try to speak to the mothers to avoid domestic violence that would avoid alcohol, and other side effects and other things that cause prematurity. Teach them about preeclampsia. Right now, we have been running a campaign about the preeclampsia, which has just ended today. We teach them about kangaroo. That's when they have given birth to preterm babies. We also do awareness, but most importantly, we ensure that men are involved into the care of these babies. We try to ensure that men are given a special care even in the hospital, so that we attract more fathers, because 80% of mothers that give birth to preterm babies most times the mothers are left with these babies. So we try to ensure that these fathers are given special care, and we've been in talks with the Ministry of Health, and now it's official that when a father comes with a wife, they are given first attention, so that he goes and does something else. So that is really an achievement to us in terms of having male involvement in this. So we look at mental health support and also bereavement. The fact that the numbers of babies that are dying, because we lose about 500 babies every week, single week, and those are only registered babies in the government system. But the numbers can go up to about 700. That's a week. So bereavement is also another area that we've now ventured into and speaking to these mothers that have lost their loved ones. Our focus basically this year is doing retinopathy for prematurity, which is something that we are really putting, and we are saving thousands of sites, because we know most preterm babies or sick babies go blind because of staying long on oxygen. And also we are doing community follow-up, and we just introduced a new app called the ComCare app. So this app basically is I'm going to talk about it in just 1 minute. We are also creating awareness on prevention and empowering preemie parents. So we've started financial resilience projects where we are giving employment to mothers that have given birth to preterm babies. Because of the long stay in the hospital, most of them find themselves losing their jobs. So we give them jobs and we pay them very well, so that giving birth to a preterm baby doesn't make your life to get to a point of suffocating, like miserable, because you no longer have a job. So I was telling you about the Home Care app. So now this Home Care app is basically, we have about 60 volunteer parents in every district. We are planning to increase. We are looking at about 200 parents that we shall be enrolling by the end of this year. This app, we share with you this app, and now the parent, once the mother has been discharged in the hospital, we share with you details of that very mother who's from your village. So you are able, when you find some time, you go check on this mother. Is he doing kangaroo very well? Is he ensuring that he's doing hygiene? Is he coming back for follow-up clinics? Has he done retinopathy for prematurity? And these are village kangaroo ambassadors, and they are volunteers. This is how much people are really determined to ensure that they change the story of prematurity here in Uganda. This app, we get real data. We are able to track the feeding, the danger signs. So together with the Ministry of Health, now once we identify a problem in the community, immediately we have a referral form. They bring it to the hospital. We give the parent a referral form, but they come to the hospital. Once they're in the hospital with that referral form, they are given immediate attention. Yeah, that's about the app. And what is our global aspiration? Is one, we are seeing we together with the Global Foundation for the Care of Newborn Babies and the Canadian and our friends from Canada, Ukraine, and Australia, and wherever the world, what we are looking at, we are saying we need to create more awareness on prematurity. There are countries out there that, there are no parent voices that are coming out, to create such initiatives that will support these parents to go through this journey. Yeah. So we need to create this awareness, and also ensure that there is no zero separation, like we are not separated from our babies. That should be an abomination, separating us from our babies. We are also looking at having long maternal leaves. Yeah, because in some countries in Africa, I don't know, Brazil and Mexico and other countries in the South of America, whether they are given, how long they have given us their maternity leave. But you're given 3 months. 3 months, you still reach in the hospital with a baby, or you've just been discharged, and you have to get back to work. So you have to choose between the job and work. So we are saying now, this is the time for all of us to come together. If it's done in Germany, if it has been implemented in Canada, it can also be benchmarked, and it can be implemented in Uganda. It can be implemented in Malawi. It can be implemented in Tanzania. It can be implemented in Rwanda. So this is what we are saying as a globe. This is now the direction that we need to take. We need to ensure that now we need to involve parents that have given birth to premature babies, because as we preterm parents, we believe that no one understands what a preterm parent goes through except when they have gone through the same situation.
Absolutely.
You know that you know that at the end of the day, these babies are like zombies in the night. They never sleep. So these are things that we're really fighting so hard to ensure that, okay, now let's have one voice as we parents. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. I'll be waiting for questions and
yes,
discussion.
thank you, Basilio. Thank you for sharing your work and your advocacy. And absolutely, it is a benchmark that we have to have it for all the countries to work together for the best outcomes for our babies. So from you, we are going to travel now to Ukraine. Alexandra, I don't see you on the camera. Oh, there you are. So thank you so much for being here today. Alexandra, I'm going to mispronounce your name. Baliazna is the co-founder of the Early Birds Ukrainian Preemie Parent Association. Alexandra, truly appreciate you being here with us today. Over the past 3 years, you have continued this important work in your country, facing the realities of war. We'd love to hear your unique challenges that you've been facing and the work that your organization been doing during this very difficult time.
Thank you so much, Fabiana, for inviting, for the opportunity to talk and share our challenges during the work of, unfortunately, already the 4th year of full-scale war. And so I would love to share different data today, but unfortunately, I have to face the reality and share the sad data that we have in Ukraine. So first of all, in comparison to the pre-full-scale war data, I would like to say that we have an incredible decrease in birth rates, of course, which is logical in such a situation. We have more than 32% decrease, and 7 million Ukrainians have left the country, and 90 of them are mothers and children. At least 659 kids and children were killed, and more than 1,000 were injured. And this is of all official data, and I'm sure that there is even more than that. And if we compare to previously known data that, for example, in 2021, we had 23,000 babies. So now it's only 8,000 babies prematurely that born every year. And this number is decreasing. So if we are talking about the main challenges in Ukraine that we are facing during these hard times, I would like to mention a couple of them. And the first of all is the destruction of hospitals. And there are more than 1,900 different attacks on healthcare facilities. Closer to the border, more facilities are destroyed and not possible to provide healthcare services to maternity, to mothers and children. And more than 50 neonatal facilities among them were destroyed or are significantly destructed. And displacement of mothers, of pregnant mothers to unsafe conditions to deliver the baby. So they're delivering in underground shelters on basement, which is significantly influencing the health and the quality of services provided to newborn babies. Lack of equipment and staff. Closer you go to the border, less professional staff is left due to safety reasons as well, and lack of special equipment is there as well, is giving a lot of problems to deliver good health services. And of course, due to stress and continuously trauma and shelling and all these challenges are influencing the rates of premature birth that are going up. But despite this all crisis, the neonatal teams have shown incredible resilience. They keep on working, and we as Ukrainian nation are with a strong face in our lives. We keep on fighting for our rights, freedom, and dignity. And our organization is happy to stand next to the families to provide informational and psychological support, to provide a humanitarian response. And also we provide support with follow-up services where we are focusing at the moment quite a lot, and also providing support to neonatal teams with prophylaxis of burnout. We are happy to work together, and we are very grateful for your standing with us, next to us.
Oh, thank you, Alexandra. Very grateful to have you here today. And now we're going to fly from Europe back to, not back, but to Australia now, because Kylie, thank you, Kylie, for being here in the middle of the night for you in Sydney. I'm so grateful that you took the time to be here. So Kylie Purcell is the CEO of the Miracle Babies Foundation in Australia. And we just want you to share with us a little bit, what is the situation of preterm birth in Australia and how are these families accessing care? Oh, Kylie, you're mute. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Unmute. That's perfect.
Good morning from me, but I guess it's through the day for everyone else, or most of you. But thanks for having me, Fabiana. It's in Australia, there's about 26,000 babies that are born preterm every year. So we are very lucky in Australia to have quite a good healthcare system and have, one of the best survival rates for our preterm babies and also low morbidity. But there's definitely challenges that come with that, especially being in a very large country like Canada. There's 23 tertiary hospitals across the country, and many people don't live close to those hospitals. So there's a lot of challenges that come for families having to relocate, and that's obviously a very big emotional and financial strain as well.
Wow, thank you, Kylie. So let's bring everybody here now back to the screen so we can have a quick chat with everyone. Hold on, let's bring Basilio, Denise, and we're missing Alexandra. There's a lot of people on backstage today. So thank you all for being here today and really share the experience in your countries, what is happening in your countries, and how your work has impacted families in your own countries. So I'm very grateful for all your advocacy and support that you do in your own region. So Alexandra, let's start with you, because you've been part of these international organizations. How is this network supporting your efforts in Ukraine, and what does it mean for your work and the families that you serve?
Thank you so much for this question. First of all, I must say that talking about war, it's not a pleasant topic to talk about the problems. And we have sometimes a feeling that people are getting tired of that. And we as Ukrainians don't want to get used to that. We just want to go back to normal lives, our normal routines, so that the families can be together, deliver babies in normal facilities, not in basements, and just have a chance to have healthier babies and nation in the future. So I'm grateful for everyone who is still standing with us, helping us. And I feel that the voice of the messages, when we are working together, uniting as one group, we can sound much louder. For example, a lot of campaigns like Kangaroo Care campaign or access to the health care facilities, it means a lot for us, especially when we can save lives when using skin-to-skin care, for example, in our country. So I'm grateful for giving a voice, uniting the voice, and also considering the situation in our country with shortages of electricity and a lot of problems that we are facing, because we are also having the same problems with a lot of other regions. So when we are talking louder together, it really helps all of us in total.
That is good to hear. Denise, is it the same for you in Brazil? Because your numbers are actually shocking. 300,000 preterm births each year in Brazil. It is appalling. And what are the main challenges that you really face on the ground, and how this network has supported your work in Brazil?
Well, the main challenges, as I already mentioned, I think they are linked to this social inequality, such as I haven't mentioned, but teenage pregnancy. It's a huge burden, and low access to health, as well as the quality of care that can be a lot improved. And I believe that, such as in other countries, it's really hard to show that investing in premature babies is investing in the future, because it's a long-term result, for example, for public policies. It's not like building a bridge. And also to show that the cause of prematurity is a transversal theme. It is linked to all sectors of public administration, such as economy, social assistance, human rights, environment, and so on. And I am sure that this global alliance that we have built, that GFCNI leads, it gives us more strength to our struggles. It endorses our mission and empowers us to work better. It makes us learn from the experience of other countries, improve our strategies, and definitely gives us the strength and the courage to move forward and not to give up, because sometimes it's really, really tough for all of us.
Absolutely. So now, Basilio, my question to you is, because you come from a continent where, from us on the West, you have so limited information and not fully understanding of the realities that you face, that you share with us. So what are the most urgent needs from your perspective and your experience with your organization in Uganda? Oh, you're mute. Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, so basically, what, if I'm to reply to answer what you've asked, the needs that the needs that sorry when I start speaking about these things, they sometimes it makes me emotional, but sorry about that. Right now we don't have the infrastructure to handle the very big numbers, not only in Uganda, in most of the African countries. You know, right now we've just donated a tent where mothers are just sleeping. You go, you have a preterm baby, but you don't have even where to sleep. You're sleeping outside because the hospitals are full to capacity, to the to capacity. You don't have even where to sleep. You have to sleep in the cold, then you have to go look after your baby. You're sleeping outside. You're taking neosepsis in the NICU when you're trying to feed the baby, and then you find the number of babies dying keeps going high. The medicine itself, we run out of the medicine. The health budgets are really small, not only here in Uganda, but in most of the African countries. Then the incubators themselves are not enough. You find you cannot have your baby alone in one single incubator. That's next to impossible because of the very big numbers. You have 4 babies in one single incubator. You have from different mothers. This mother probably you're not sure about the hygiene. So if this baby gets neosepsis, the other one gets neosepsis, the other one gets neosepsis, and before you know, all the 4 babies in one single incubator are gone. These are challenges that are really hurting us. Even the health workers themselves, the attitude when it comes to work. The numbers are very many for them. I'll give you an example. During the World Prematurity Day, Silk shared a message, encouraging the health workers, how telling them how they are doing a very good job. You don't know how much that single message, impacted on these health workers. I saw the commissioner, reproductive health, sharing this message. I saw the PS on her Twitter resharing this message. And this is the time I think now, as we as a globe, as all of us globally, to come out together and we share what the small things, the little that you do share really inspires very many people out there. So that's it from me.
Thank you, Basilio. So Kylie, let's go to you now, because you also have a very diverse population in Australia, live in different areas. How are those families accessing care? They're far. Like, we face the same problems here in Canada. And in fact, last week I just visited remote communities, Indigenous communities in Northern Ontario, my own province, and I had to travel for many hours to get there. And I went to the end of the road where there's no more road access to other communities. And I really saw a different reality of Canada that I heard of it. I had never seen it. Do you face the similar things in Australia? And how are these families accessing care? Because you and I had a little bit of discussions on this same mode of healthcare system with similar challenges.
Yeah, it's very difficult for these families that live regional or remote. They have to travel to the cities for the care for their baby, and they're taken away from their own support networks. So their families, their communities. So that's the emotional challenge that comes with it. But then there's the financial strain where they're having to look for accommodation. And then you've got a situation where, dad or partner might go back home, look after other children and go back to work. So I think it's very similar in a lot of these large countries where there's so much space, and it's just taking them completely out of their normal life. And it's lifelong trauma that these families are facing, and that separation is devastating for families. And it's not just mum and baby, it's mum, dad, partner, other children. It's the whole family unit that's impacted.
Oh. So we have a question here from Sandy Liu. She's joining us from Taiwan. So we don't have a representative from Taiwan in our parent organization. Sandy, if you are a parent, join us. So connect with Silke. For Canada, we also have our goal of equal access to care. our babies do come to big cities, to big center, level 3 NICUs to receive care, but there is a big gap when those families go back to the community for follow-up care, for access to therapies, and they are isolated. We have a big diverse population. We have people from all over the world coming to Canada with limited English, so there's a lot of challenges. And our networks here are working really hard to have better outcomes for our babies with less morbidities, less long-term impact of preterm birth. So we have a lot of work to do. That's why I'm so grateful that we are all working together. But I want to go back to Silke now, because there was a big launch just last week that I think besides our incredible awareness campaigns, global awareness campaigns, families need education. And Silke, you're here to talk to us and launch Neopedia in our Preemie chats. So let's talk about Neopedia, because many of us here were involved with the development in Neopedia. And I am so proud of what you have created for parents all over the world.
Yes, thank you, Fabiana. It was really a big teamwork what we have done, and Neopedia is, like everyone knows, Wikipedia, and this is really a platform where we want that parents have the opportunity, or family members, to get information. So in the bigger organization of us, like you, Fabiana, also Kylie, Alexandra, we have platforms. We have a Facebook platform, maybe we have a website where we find information, but there are so many parents across the world who have not access to information, or they speak not the language. And we have developed a website, a platform, because parents all over the world have also given us the feedback that they of course speak English and can look, for example, on a website in Australia, in US, in Canada, or in UK, but they're not living there. So they need more neutral information, where they are getting information about the journey you have in a hospital. And our idea was really to start what you can see here, explaining words like you come. So also you, Fabiana, gave such a beautiful video explaining your kickoff in the NICU. You arrived there. All these doctors spoke with this Latin medical language, and you couldn't understand what they are talking about, and how you at the end survived, and how you in the end struggled in the first days and weeks, and after a while you understood what is a BPD or what is surfactant. And what we want is, with this website, is the parents get guided throughout this journey, before the NICU journey start, but also afterwards. And we have also Kylie here, who has given us a lot of support also in the time of after discharge, because the Australian Parent Organization has done a tremendous job throughout the last years, having developed, they call it the triple E. So for the time after the NICU, when you go home with your baby born preterm or sick, and then you are struggling because you don't know what happens now, where the baby is not eating or sucking, the baby has this or that infection. And they also look for peer groups, and our Neopedia platform guides through really from before birth until adulthood. It gives you an easy to understand language, all the answers you need. And we also have videos there. We have statements like from you, Fabiana. We have quotes from healthcare professionals. And what really is important to know for everyone who is joining us today, or maybe watching the video afterwards, that this website annually will be checked of content, so that in the end we can be sure that it's always up-to-date information, evidence-based information, where also healthcare professionals who have a parent who are overwhelmed can always be sent to this website and get information. At the moment, the website is available in English, in Spanish, in German, Italian, and in French. And we are next year launching it in further languages. So we are planning next year to Portuguese, so Brazilian Portuguese, but also for Portugal and for many countries also in Africa, it's then available. So that's also our hope, that we have languages where also in low middle income countries are spoken. We will have Turkish, Greek, and Japanese. And the plan is then the years after to have further languages. We also will have more graphics, more personal stories. We will also do a follow-up survey to understand if we really reach our parent community. Are they missing maybe anything? And my big aim also from my team is that we also provide in the future more information for low middle income countries. And that's something what we of course have in mind. So finally, I want to really all these people who are also today here saying a big thank you to the parent organizations who have joined us and went throughout this journey and helping us to make this website really meaningful and understandable for the ones for whom we are doing this, for the parents who are now in the situation. We are all here veteran parents, and our story is a long time ago, but we want to do this for the parents who are now in the NICU and whom we are helping. And it's not only for parents, for preemies. That's also a big thank you to our parent organization who told us we really have more than only the preemies in the NICUs. We have a lot of other babies who are born term and are not healthy. So also these parents need support. And a big thank you, of course, to our sponsor, GFCNI. And my special thanks goes also to all these healthcare professionals. So we had more than 20 healthcare professionals who were helping us with the content, with the editing, but also the parents who have done already a kind of pre-testing in the beginning. And a very, very big thank you goes to my own team, because without especially Bianca and Sonia, who have done this tremendous work, my colleague Aurelia, but also our beautiful and wonderful design, what we have from our design team, a big, big thank you. Without them, we would not have really made this in time for last week launch. Thank you so much, Fabiana, for having me here.
Thank you, Silke. It is a beautiful website with so much in it, videos and quotes, and it's really beautiful. So now let's have a reaction from our panelists, because we have people from different countries. Obviously, for us who have English and French here in Canada, the website is immediately available, but for Denise, for Ukraine. So what is your expectation? How do you think this could benefit you moving forward? Okay, there you go. You can go.
Can I start? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. The website is amazing, and as Silke said, I think it's evidence-based. It has the affection, it has the welcoming, the humanized part, but it's evidence-based. I think it's amazing, and it comes to endorse our work, our organizations, and to show the strength of our network, that we are united to change this global situation. And I'm sure it comes to add to the education, the literacy of families regarding the best care for their babies and regarding their rights, which I consider it's one of the most important things when it comes to changing outcomes and transforming lives. So we are very excited and to spread the Portuguese version of Neopedia next year here in Brazil. We are very looking forward to it.
I can only add that for us, it's of course not that accessible without having Ukrainian version, but I just would like to share a little story from when the invasion has started. We were launching some courses of neurodevelopmental course. And I thought, like, during the invasion, no one will be really attending those events. Maybe other priorities would be in life. But when we were receiving more than 4,000 people just for a course that we organized, we realized that people are so looking forward development, new data, scientifically proven data. They would like to develop their skills and also their departments, and they all want to do what they love. Neonatal development is important for our NICUs and also our hospitals, for our people, and we are looking forward to having a Ukrainian version, of course, because this matters a lot to bring more information, more awareness, and also break more stigmatization on the problematic of prematurity. So we are looking forward development of this important tool in our country as well.
Wonderful. Basilio, any comments from you?
Yeah, actually, what I can say, the website is really user-friendly, and I think this is value additional to all of us, and now it's our responsibility as we parent organizations and everyone here who is live today watching, all who will be watching a pre-recorded, chat, to share it out to everyone, so that it can be of impact to very many people out there.
And Kylie, and from you?
I think it's been such a privilege for us here in Australia to share our knowledge, and like Baz said, it's a bit of a responsibility for us to be able to support the countries and the families that don't have access to that support and information. So yeah, it's been quite an honour to share our knowledge and help families right across the globe.
Absolutely. So Silke, what are next steps from GFCNI? I know we have a big World Prematurity Day campaign coming up in the next few months. But besides World Prematurity Day, the big advocacy that we do together, what is on the pipeline?
That's a good question, Fabiana. Yes, we have already a next huge project in the pipeline starting on 1st September. We want to know from parents who had a Preemie on from 1st January 2023 on until the next year. How is the situation in the NICU? What they have experienced? So we want to ask parents who have a Preemie and they were born after the 1st January of 2022, what they have experienced in the NICU, maybe already in the pregnancy, which hospital was chosen for the delivery, how they were treated in the NICU, had they the opportunity to kangaroo, were they able to change, for example, the diaper themselves, were they able to be there every day, have they provided chairs, or were they supported for to be able to breastfeed? And how was discharge management organized? Because we know, and also what Basilio told us, in most countries in the world, we have not a proper follow-up system. That means the babies are going home with the family and then nothing. So this is why it is important to understand better what parents really experience and what is the situation around the globe. And we are super proud that we do this together with the World Health Organization, many healthcare professional societies across the world, and of course our wonderful parent organization community. And we are hoping that we get data, because without data it's always challenging to argue with healthcare professionals, but especially with policymakers, and to make a difference in our countries, and especially in low middle income countries where Basilio is coming, or in regions what you all shared before, in situations where there are wars and other crises, where we have people who have not access to the right care. It is important to know what they experience and give them a voice. And this survey hopefully will give us an overview how really the situation is of parents who have babies born preterm, small and sick. And we hope that latest in 2027, we will have the data and we can share with the world what we really need as parents of preemies across the world.
Thank you, Silke. This is very important work. And for us, we've been fighting very hard to restore family-centered care, family integrated care in our centers. I would be very interested in seeing what is the global situation after our campaigns to ease the restrictions around the NICUs and zero separation. So it will be very important work for all of us to have in hand in our countries. So, but before, let me see if there's any more comments. So we have all our other parent networks organized from around the world watching us, as I put on the comments here. So thank you, all of you. We now have Nina from Bulgaria, Elaine is in Mexico watching us, and they all have incredible work done in their regions. But before you wrap it up, I would like final thoughts from each one of you and your next steps in your countries. So who's gonna, let's say, Denise, you can start with you. You're my first one on the screen.
Yeah, okay. I think, well, with Neopedia and all the work we've been doing, we are getting more in touch. And I think we always gather in Germany once a year, and it's amazing how we can exchange, and it gives us the strength to continue. But having this network closer due to Neopedia, I think it became something. We became stronger together, and I think that these exchanges and all the things that we had to review in our cultures and all the care for preemies, we see that we have common challenges, and we can share experiences and to know that we are not alone. And the plan is to continue this work together and to improve public policies on all the work we're doing here, because we are always learning from other cultures and other countries. So yeah, that's the plan.
Thank you, Denise. Maybe go to Alexandra now.
I remember one phrase that is really reminding me that we are all laughing and crying in the same language. We have different cultural backgrounds, different countries behind us, different problems, but still crying and laughing is always the same challenges for us as parents of premature babies. So when we share them, we can also find better solutions. When we find solutions together, we can also go further and be stronger with uniting the messages when we do it much in advance and planning such campaigns. And I already see how this is affecting and making a difference in our country in the last 10 years since I've been attending the events of GFCNI. So I'm really grateful for this network, and I would say let's use it. Let's use our network to make the voices stronger. So thank you so much for giving such an opportunity to be a part of it.
Thank you, Alexandra. Kylie, let's go to you.
Yeah, really proud to be part of the network as well. It's brought so many fresh ideas for us and also knowledge sharing. And the next 12 months is big for us. We're celebrating 20 years of Miracle Babies this year. And in that time, we've learnt a lot. Yay. And I think the organisation has definitely grown up a lot. And we're rolling out increased support for families on cot side in the neonatal units here in Australia. So we're really excited to provide that support and reach to many more families. And also still advocating for certain policy changes in our country as well, and additional leave for parents so that they're not using their paid parental leave while they're in hospital. So there's always lots to do, and there's always, such good inspiration from all the countries that we're involved in the network. So thank you as well.
Thank you, Kylie. Basilio?
Yeah, I would say I'm super proud. Yeah, if there is one person who's very proud, I'm super proud as Preemie, the Preterm Parents Network, to be part of that network, the tremendous support, the knowledge support, knowledge is very key when it comes to the work that we are doing, and the support that we are getting from fellow parent groups across, the mentorship, the advice that we are getting from the net, from other parent organization is really impacting us so much. So our next steps are basically to ensure that now, the fact that now we've gone digitally to have data to track these mothers in their communities, now we want to push it massively to ensure that at least every single week we are following up about 200 to 300 mothers. To this week alone, we've tried it, and we went aggressively and we've done on 150. But the target should be, how about if we do 500 babies? We follow up 500 babies a week. So Yeah, those are some of the next steps with our partners like Mama Tulie at our breast milk community. Now we want to see that now we push more over community engagement, to see what happens to these parents when they leave the hospitals. Are these babies surviving? Are we having progress? Or the babies are living and they are dying within the communities? Yeah, that's it from me. But I'm super proud for everyone who's really supporting us in this journey. Silk, everyone loves Kylie, Denise, and my sister from Ukraine. Then you, Fabiana, you guys are doing an amazing job. The work that you post really inspires us to wake up every day and say, no, we can do something. We can change the world together. We can change the prematurity journey together, all of us as a team. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, Basilio. And I share my sentiments because you all inspire my work. I always feel very isolated here in Canada because I feel that I'm so far from all of you. But yes, coming together once a year in person and learning from one another, it's so inspiring to me to know what you are doing. And sometimes with very limited resources, changing culture, changing care in your countries, it's always so inspiring to me and really keeps me going for the rest of the year. And I love following all of you on social media to see what you're doing, and it's really a global voice. So with that, I will throw back to Silke, because if there are people here in countries where they don't have a parent organizations, or maybe they want to start one, or maybe they want to connect with GFCNI, what are the next steps?
Yes, the next steps would be to really write an email to myself, silke.mader@GFCNI or info@GFCNI. So let us know if you want to start an organization. Maybe you have already started with an organization, how to build up this organization, or how to structure it and everything. So we are providing online, but also face-to-face workshops to help. And all the people you see here are part of this network. We are helping each other, and we also bring people together. So who had similar problems, how can we help each other? We use blueprints, like we say, to not reinvent the wheel, and we are really sharing everything what we have experienced with you. And we would love to hear, especially also as I have seen from Taiwan. Please contact us, and we are helping as much as we can to build up an organization in your country or your region.
Yes, thank you so much, Silke. That is amazing. And this is the power of the network. Everybody shares so generously their learnings. Kylie spent a lot of time talking to me about fundraising, and I always learn so much because everybody maybe is one step ahead of you that teaches how to do this in your country, or how to get started, or what worked, what it didn't work, so you don't make the same mistakes. And obviously from GFCNI, I've learned so many things because I came to CPBF with zero knowledge of how to run a not-for-profit. And all my basic knowledge and ongoing knowledge, it comes from the generosity of your organization, Silke, that shares with me how to do, what to do, and what is important. So I'm very, very grateful that I found this community. And I always feel there is always so many gifts in our own pain, in our trauma, and what our journeys brought us to do. And to be together and meet all of you incredible change makers from around the world, really making a difference in your countries, in your organizations, in the lives of thousands and thousands of people every year. So I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I'm very happy that we're all here today celebrating GFCNI, Neopedia, to support families around the world, no matter where they are born, and to really give these babies the best starting life and ongoing support for the family. So thank you, all of you. And if you want to be in touch with any of these organizations, please contact silke@gfcni.org, because we are all listed there, all our networks, and so much support for all of you. So thank you, everyone. I hope you all have a good weekend, and let's continue this work together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fabi. Thank you all.
And to all of you watching us live here today, thank you so much for joining. Okay, let me just wrap it up here. Thank you so much for joining us all in this live session. If you missed part of today's session, you can head to our website, canadianpreemies.org, where you can find this episode and all the other episodes of the Preemie Chats. While you're there, we also explore many resources and support options we offer to help families on their journey. And as a charitable organization, CPBF relies on the generous support of people like you. Your donations allow us to continue empowering families of premature babies every step of the way. Together, we can create a brighter future for all preemies and their families. So thank you again for being part of this community. And we'll see you again next Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time for another episode of the Preemie Chats. Stay well.